Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, folks. Thanks for joining. We're pretty excited. We got some new information that's coming from Microsoft this week, and today is really one of those preview sessions that we're going to have. We're going to jump into the tool. I wanted to catch some people up because I know we've been on a road trip with Microsoft, and not everyone's been able to join us on those road trips. We just finished one up here in Boston. We were out in the Midwest and the West Coast earlier than that, and then down in the Florida area prior. So if you haven't been able to join us, reach back out to us, take a look at some of our webcasts, and there's going to be a lot of different announcements through Microsoft this week. And for those that are having this recording, we're late October, so early November, late October 2019, talking about the new project as well as some of the new project services that are out there. So I am going to go ahead and get started. I do see a few people that are jumping in, but I'm going to go and say hello. So my name is Jacques. We've been with PPM Works for a long time here. I have a bunch of experience really coming to you from a program managed point of view, but also project manager and working with the project and product team. Been very fortunate to have a bunch of buddies over at Microsoft that really got us in early, not only with the tool set of PPM, but also throughout the Microsoft solutions that are out there. So we can go ahead and link in. I'll pull up a slide at the end of that. But a little bit about us. We're a full service organization here, consultancy in and around Microsoft organizations, Microsoft tools, as well as the PPM tool set. Do training, come on site, do some webinars, as well as some workshops for you folks. Have a bunch of experience, and really, this is for you folks. So not only do we do these on a regular basis, but we have a YouTube channel that it's out there that you can go on and see our organization across the board. There's a couple things that are up there, data-driven decisions that you can see right there, key effects of resource management, whatever you're interested in. Go ahead and check out our YouTube site. If you don't see it there, let us know. Send something off to info@ppmworks.com, and we'll be happy to make sure we post one of our webcasts, or we go out there and we'll create one particular for you. Now, I did get a message even before we started that said, hey, what's going on and what's next? And wanted to make sure that you can see that. Looks like here we are, our webcasts that are coming up here. So we are doing this today. We have a bunch of things coming up here at the end of October and beginning of November that actually are going to be updated on this page. So paginated reports is one topic that I know is big out there. Think of the legacy SSRS reports that were there and really trying to make those report-like, so nice formatted reports. Understanding prioritization and selection, it's going to be happening in November, and then followed by our teams. And we'll get into a little bit of teams plus Power BI and some other things today. So again, I am going to go back one slide because I don't think you were able to see it, but our YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel down there. You could search us at PPM Works. This is where we put all of our videos. So this one will go up there as well as our weekly and bi-monthly, webcasts that we do with Microsoft. Now, I did mention that we are having a couple different announcements with Microsoft this week as well as next week. So make sure you tune in. For those folks that are going down to Project Ignite, there's going to be a few sessions on Project for Web, so you'll actually get to see that, probably get some hands-on experience on that. If you'd like a trial and you're not at Ignite, again, reach out to us at info@ppmworks.com, and we'll make sure we can get you on, and you'll be able to touch and feel and really get into some of these new. All right, so what is new? The big thing that we're seeing is accessibility to all and letting people use whatever PPM tool they want to use. So again, from Satya, him joining the company, all the way down to the product managers saying, go ahead, use your PPM tool, and as long as we have a little governance and a project process, meaning a shell that's around that project, then we should be okay. So let's talk about that. Within Microsoft Project, you see over here the gray and the green area. That's usually what we talk about on these demonstrations and really get into the areas of Microsoft PPM. Well, recently, what we've been doing is really showing the entire suite. And I jokingly say that, some of this slide could actually turn all this deep purple by the end, which is Teams. Teams is going to be that wrapper, if you will, that's going to house all of our information from workflow to organized note-taking to really soft or lightweight task management solution here with Planner, as well as, really getting across all of our roles. So that Power Platform about getting reports and getting data-driven information to the workflow and actually customizing or using a GUI-friendly app service. So that's the custom enterprise app or the Power App tool that we have. Now I mentioned roles. So if you were to take a look at it and say, hey, where does my role fit in there? What tools? Because you just threw a lot at me. I'm going to walk down and we're going to show you this. So governance and really understanding the choices for you. Here's one example, okay, that you could potentially do. And in this case, we've done this with a few different clients out there. And think of this as you go through and you get an idea and you're classifying or putting in information, think of it as your project, maybe your project intake form, or it could even be as detailed, okay, as some people have their different charters that are out there. You would actually have some of that information. You could come in. Again, everything is going to be talked or communicated within this Teams environment. I'm going to show you some of this today. But we've been hearing these words called casual project manager or citizen project manager. You may even say accidental project manager. Those are the folks that, hey, you need to manage this bucket of tasks, and maybe they don't have the training. And that's really that lower complexity. And as you start going to the medium complexity and really high complexity, that's where your training comes involved. And folks maybe on the phone, you might be used to Microsoft Project. You may be used to Gantt charts. There's a whole heck of a lot of people out there that do not like Gantt charts, okay? And they don't even like the feel or the understanding there's dependencies and all this other stuff. They just want to manage their project, throw in a couple dates, throw in a couple tasks, maybe assign some resources, and then give me a couple fields that I can add. I want to drag and drop. I want to be able to very quickly create a project. We're going to show you that. That's what's called the new project service or project for the web, and we'll talk about that at the end. Everything in the middle really is going to be encapsulated on your current tool today for those that are using Project Online, otherwise called PPM, Microsoft PPM, just level of complexity and really understanding from a program view versus the nitty-gritty project view would be there. And we can talk about these when we get through here. And then lastly, you might be scratching your head looking down at the bottom saying, Agile, huh? So those aren't Microsoft logos, are they? And no, they're not. You can use DevOps, okay? You can use different things there, or you could also use an entirely different tool for any piece of here, any piece of the PPM lifecycle. But in this case, again, housed and the reports and everything else still can come from Microsoft Project, meaning Project Online, and that's really where we're going to guide you through. All right, so increasing that productivity through those tools that we just talked about, for those that are on the line that haven't used Teams out there, it is that one place that you can bring all of your communication. You can use chats on the left-hand side, you can use Teams, and I'll show you an example of a project team where we have different tabs that go across not only the life cycle of our project, but also the different pieces of our project, and really from a tool perspective, what they're going to be using. We mentioned Microsoft Planner. It is that lightweight, more soft, as I call it, task management solution. You can have tabs, you can drag and drop, you can do a bunch of different things like this. And really, it's been catching on. People really enjoy Teams. And by the way, folks, if you have Office 365 or what we're terming Microsoft or M365, it's very easy, and it's that four-letter word, free, right? So you can get in there, you can start managing tasks and sharing this information. It's very easy to share. And again, a lot of people like it because it is free. Flow. Getting into Flow, this is really your workflow component of the tool within what we call the Power Platform. And you can see how we're sort of going through this one example. You can have a flow that's saying, hey, I want to be able to create a template. I'm going to run this flow. It's going to send an email off. I can actually go off and see that and then go over and grab that information. Again, that could be with a project, that can be task, that could be an approval. And I'm going to show you an example of using a flow as well as the next slide here, which is Power BI. Power BI, if you haven't been using it, get on it. PowerBI.com, you can go out there, log in. The Power BI desktop application is free. You can get on there and start using it. Once you start disseminating and sharing this information, that's when a license is needed. So as you start to go ahead and share this across your organization, you do need to start looking into some licensing implication. Very powerful tool. What we're going to be doing is pulling that information from Project, from Planner, from SharePoint, from Excel, okay, and from the new project from the web, all into Power BI so we can get that. Someone asked about, how does this all start to integrate and how can this work together? Well, we have a tool out there that you can actually integrate this lightweight task management system from Project and actually put it into Planner and actually put it into Microsoft Project. So your project manager, even those casual project managers, could manage projects, as well as the team could go out there and just use this very lightweight system. So if you're interested in that, I won't be talking too much about that, but that's where you'd really get into the details of managing those projects at a task level. Now, this is our first view into Teams, and you can start to create these different tabs all around, again, your Microsoft, or excuse me, your project in this case. And this project, as you start to create, could have governance that we showed in the beginning, a low complexity, high complexity, and or an agile project. And depending on how they create the idea, this would be created for them. Now, there's a lot swirling on, and again, I want to be very quick and powerful here today and just tell you about all of this, and then I'm going to show you a bit, and then we're going to open up for answers. Today is about seeing some new things that are out there, reaching out to us, getting a link, getting a trial from us, and then going ahead and playing with it over the next couple of days, weeks, etc., and then watching our webcast throughout the week as we start to roll out and talk about different discrete new releases that are happening here. But with Power Apps and Project Online, what can you actually do? There's a lot you can do out there. Understanding this is really you folks. If you're in an IT organization, going out and understanding what your business partners are asking out there, whether it's internal or external. If they're trying to solve something and they say, hey, we need a tool for, step back, think about it, and can you create some sort of visualization that's stripped off of someone else's data or project data in that case, and we're going to give that to them. And you can give them the device to enter in a request or enter in status, and it doesn't necessarily have to be one of these tools that we just talked about. Okay, it can all be serviced up through what we have here, which is a Power App. So you're going to say, how does this sort of look? Well, we have an example, and I'll actually walk you through this. Here's an intake form that we created. It's a Power App, okay, that sits out there. We right now are showing it on a laptop, but this could very easily, and it's a Power App, so it can go across any device here that we have. In this case, there is a web base here as well. Information, think of this as an ideation portal where we go in and we create a new idea or create a new request, project request. As we finish these, different fields, we can actually go ahead and submit it, and it goes through. You see that life cycle up there, so we still have some sort of governance review all the way through close or whatever it happens to be. And you can actually watch that go through. Okay, we have some samples on some templates as well as some reports that are out there. Other things that can be created through Power Apps is dashboards. So you could actually pull this information that we did through those ideas and start to sift them based on where they came in. Now, if you did have new projects or ideation that came in, you could actually start channeling this through different organizations and really sponsoring those folks that came up with the best project or the best idea within our localized organization. Now, I know that was pretty quick, but I did want to get through some of that slideware so I can get us into the actual applications and start seeing some of this. All right, so we do have starting off here at a project area. Okay, we're able to see some of these tiles here. Everything that we just talked about, we just put into a tile here. We have some Power App information, our team collaboration in with our Power Apps, roadmap, as well as our home page. We're going to go off and see, and all this good information all serviced here within our home page of PPM. Now, when we go back into our particular idea, and I did want to show you this live. Here's a new employee payroll. You can see that we just have a group by sponsor here. Here's all of our ideas or new requests if you'd like. I go ahead and click on this and open this up. It pops up in that web app that you can see here. I get a certain different tabs. You folks can add whatever you like. We just did a 2x2 column and put a bunch of information on here. And when you're finishing and actually creating some of these, you can actually have these slotted, is it funded, is it not? And that could be dynamic and really open up different tasks. In this case, I'm opening up an idea or a request that's already been created just so I didn't have to type in things. You can see that things have been filled out here. I got some additional information. From complexity, I could fill it out. And we got all the way to this dispositioned area, okay, within this particular idea here. So if I was to create it from new, I do want to show you just what we have here. Go off here and we create, we're going to do a new employee satisfaction tool here. All right, so that's when we're going to create that. I'm just going to borrow some words here. What are the benefits? We got happier people, right, folks? So they're going to stick around, not leave our company. Do we have a sponsor? Sure. Funded, okay, it's going to change some information up here. As we go through, I can fill out my classification. Is there a business strategy on here? So we definitely need to deliver on our commitments. This is going to be for a different organization here. I have my different drivers, etc. You guys get the point. As I go off in here and save this information, and we go out to our ideation here, we're going to be actually prompted with a submittal button that we can go ahead and submit this. When we go ahead and submit, what it's doing right here is it's going back and taking our flow or our workflow here, taking all that information and creating the next level in our workflow. I'll just let that finish up here so you can actually see that. Here we are. And we got our classification here. So right in here is where we're going through. So as we go through and we do our different submittals, in this case, whoops, I actually have a couple different things that are on here that I can actually change these for my demonstration. So I can push things all the way through. And that's exactly what I did here, is I pushed it back. So we didn't have to accept all these all the way through to disposition. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the word disposition, this is really when you're making the choice and it's been selected to your project. So you're going off to figure out, okay, where am I putting this project and who's actually going to be working on it? So just a little different terminology there. Now, when we go ahead and create this, now we have our project, okay? So we can actually go in and start to see some of our projects and also start to report on some of these. So how this ties back in, you can actually go here and see our projects that have been listed here on our project center. Okay, so everything is tying back in to what you folks are used to, whether it's project server or project online, in this case, and seeing that information all in one place. Now, we talked about the seamless approach and taking a look at how we're able to see all this. And I'm going to go out and go into my area here, where I have queued up for Teams. Now, within Teams, we can have a lot of information out there, and really what it's going to do is it's going to give us exactly what we want to see here. Now I'm going to open this up. I'm going to open up one of our teams here. Here we are. So now we have Microsoft Teams. This is the case. This is the envelope, if you will, for all of our information. And I just picked this e-commerce rollout project. Again, I could have picked a different project in this case, but I just happened to pick our e-commerce rollout project. Within here, all these project files are the same files that if we went back over to here and we see a little file icon, okay, that's where we're saving this. So it's information over in Project Online, captured right here. If we wanted to go and see some task information that we have here on our e-commerce rollout project, what is it doing? It's bringing up our tasks for all that within that project. Now I'm seeing them in a visual or a board here. So my one-to-one for task I have here, I could take these and drag my task if I wanted to. I could go off and complete these. All right, I can go in here and actually edit these tasks and get some more information that I would like to do. What you're seeing, folks, right here is Planner. So this is Microsoft Planner. Maybe I want to make it high, medium, low, whatever it's going to be. In this case, what we have here is Microsoft Planner integrated with Microsoft Project in this case. There's also some planner charts. I can show you that. What they do is they take, your status of your actual tasks that are left. It's pretty good, okay. But for us project managers that are out there, you're probably going to want to, stick with the schedule. Again, this is for a lighter weight organization or maybe a low complexity project that you're taking a look at. Now, for those project managers that are out there, you still have access, directly into the schedule. Oh, looks like I need to go ahead and log in here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. And your schedule, when it comes up, you're going to have full accessibility. Everything that you do when you come into your project. Let me go ahead and pop over here. Grab a. All right. So that e-commerce rollout project that I had here. If I scroll down, go ahead and take that. I'm actually going to grab the CloudCom project just for you folks here so we can go ahead and take a look at some of these tasks. So here's the document requirements, all this good stuff. Same thing that I had over in my Teams area, okay? All of these tasks that are here are going to show up in our Teams. Now, what I did over in Teams, I went ahead and clicked on the next one because I didn't want to take time to log in here. And we're now showing you the Power BI reports. So everything that you can see is housed within Teams here. This is a way that you can collaborate, keep governance, as well as give structure for your organization and allow them to do whatever they'd like to do within their project management. So again, we advocate Microsoft Project, we advocate Project Online. If you're using something different or another group is, that's okay. Bring them in here. We still can have the project information within Microsoft Project, but they can go through this and report across a different level if they'd like to. So here is where we're doing our integration, if you will, or really just emulation within Teams. And you can see that you can have multiple channels here. You can have different projects at a different level. And I'll end up by showing you one other area within the hub itself. All right, so we talked about our projects. We talked about how Microsoft Teams can house all that. And now we actually want to get into a couple different areas. And I was going to show you another Power App that we are using here to house some of those. I showed you this screenshot, but again, as you go into these different areas and really drill into some of these, you could pop out reports. This could actually save and send a particular report or a dashboard to somebody within that organization. You can see in here that we do have a bunch of ideas, and here they are listed, and we can even sort those and group those that we had before, but also rolling our projects, our lightweight projects that we have here, And these projects that we're creating, okay, can be created from Microsoft Project. They can be created, if you'd like, from Planner. Anything you want, we can show them in our view here that's being emulated or registered through our tool, which is Power Apps here. So a lot of different ways to see projects, ideas, as well as lightweight task management, meaning planner tools. One other thing I want to get in, and then we'll show you sort of that lightweight project manager, is the roadmap. So if we were to come over here, let me just grab my start here and go over to my project. Now, when you go into the home page, which is new for some have seen this, and you actually go in to create a new project, in this case, you also have the ability to create a roadmap. I'm going to open up an existing roadmap for those folks that haven't seen this here. Roadmap is a tool. It's a visual tool that we can create here. And you can see that Good Drawn is already created here. If I go and add a row, I can actually go and say, hey, I want to connect to a project in this case, or I could connect to Agile DevOps, what's called Agile boards. And when I go ahead here, I can go ahead and create my project, search my project in this case, and say, hey, I'd like to go ahead and add, a different project, if I will, and go off and create and connect to that project. It's going to go do its magic, and I can actually add that project here. What you're seeing right now is something called flow. It's taking that workflow, it's going off to Microsoft Project, it's grabbing that project, and it's going to go ahead and add it in here. And I can actually go ahead and see all the details if I want to. Now, it might ask me to prompt to log in if I need to. If that's the case, I'm just going to bounce out here and just show you manually how things are entered here. So that's going off, doing its workflow, trying to grab this plantain tortilla factory project here. And it's going to go ahead and pop it all out there. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to go and show me all of my tasks that I can potentially add directly here. And maybe I just want my requirements at the high level, and I would like something, a couple other tasks here. I can go ahead and select 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever I'd like to do, or I can quick select only milestones, summary, or whatever I'd like to do. Go ahead and add that back in. All right, here are my high level. I can then go in here and say, you know what, I need a key date in this case, and this is going to say factory open in this case. And I'm going to put it on the date that our factory is going to open here in November. And I could say, yep, it's on track. Okay, so here's my factory open. Here's where the Good Drawn project is playing in, and here's where my tortilla factory comes in. Now, this is a pretty cool new capability. What we did there is we just added in a project, okay? If I was to go ahead and do that again, and add in another project, I'll go ahead and create that e-commerce rollout sync or something else. Let's see what, not in that area. So I'm going to actually just do my, my strategic plan here. What I can do is keep adding these different rows in. And what you're seeing is a program view of your organization across multiple tools. In this case, we might have project, we might have DevOps, and there's something new that's coming out this week officially, which is project for the web. Now, that is really your consumer-based, is your lightweight or casual project managers. And I want to go ahead and show you what that is. This plantain tortilla factory is actually one of those projects. So if I go ahead and click right in here, we're going to go into our new experience here. This is for a casual project manager. Okay, so someone that may not have as much training as we do, they can come in here. Notice what I have off the bat. Where's my Gantt chart? Okay, it's not here, right? We can take a look at a grid. I'll show you a couple of these others. We can come in here and say, you know what? Again, this is just a project manager banging in things. So I have my requirement review sort of out of place here, right? So I could take this and we can move this down to where it needs to be. So you can drag and drop things. It looks like I dragged that just a little too far. I can put it in here. You can indent and outdent different tasks very easily. Again, subtask, not. You can insert task, delete task. You can complete task. As I go forward here and actually complete it. I'm not sure you guys can hear that on our recording, but I'll do it again. Everybody likes to get warned and buzzed, so I'm going to do that one more time. Bing, right? So it actually makes a little noise. Now again, you might find this is a little, a little silly, but remember, these are for casual project managers that haven't really been trained, that like different tasks, want to see that checkbox, and need a maybe potential a little bit more interaction. What else do we have here? We can actually add in dependencies if you wanted to. So our start and our finish, okay? Little different terminology, depends after, but depends for those folks that are PMs out there, think predecessor, successor, same thing, okay? That we're adding in here. As we're going through, you can get actually this information button, open that up, and it gives me this little tab over here. If you want to do completed effort, that's really up to you. Just simply type this in. Here's my completed time. If I want to put it in a new bucket, add different duration, okay, or put % complete. I can also add a dependency right in here. Click the dependency, search for task, whatever it happens to be. Go ahead and hit my design team for effort, and there we are, creating another dependency here. Now, it can't be a dependency that I already have. Oh, okay, so there's a little logic here. Pretty cool, right? So I'd have to go in here, remove that dependency, and circle back. So it is walking us through the project. It is helping us create a project, but in a very lightweight fashion, okay? A lot of organizations just want to bang in, enter some tasks, ready? So we have meet with management, right? When are they gonna, who's gonna sign? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just enter some people. What's the duration? Okay, I'm not sure. So I have a start date, sure. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And that's it. That's all I want for my next task, okay? I might want to bring it in, bring it up, whatever I happen to do. Another good area in this new tool is that same functionality that you saw in Planner. So here we are. I have these tasks. I can actually take this and say my design team, or in this case, my requirement review, and drag that, to in process. Notice what happens. 50% is now done. Take that and drag that again over to complete. Now it's 100% complete. So my drag and drop capability, group by bucket. So if you have different buckets here, so to do, you can create and add new buckets if you want. We've seen different ways to people that have done this. Some people have done, low, medium, high, whatever they have in here, and they're doing just by different priority. Now our famous timeline is still out there. So for those folks that need that timeline view, here it is. As we go on here, I can see a couple things that maybe I didn't do, or as I was keying in. So I can come here and I can see maybe I want a dependency on that right there. So drag and drop. I can also take this and swing this out here if I need to. Everything else will follow. This, my friends, isn't in our project. So let's go ahead and put it in our project. Go ahead and drag this right here. So now that task is in our dependency. Now again, folks could use this if they want to. They don't have to if they don't need to. It's really up to them. Now what they want to do. What we want to show you here, very lightweight, cool new tool here called Project Through the Web. You're actually able to come in here, create new tasks, assign people, do any sort of duration starts, add a few columns that you have here, and off you go. You have that project. If we go back to our home page that you just saw, in this case, here's that Tortilla Factory project that we had here. And we're going to notice that we have both projects from the casual project manager standpoint, as well as PWA projects from Project Online for our more advanced or professional project managers that are out there, or maybe our trained project managers. Everything we can see in one, as well as we have roadmap. So if I scroll down, eventually I'll come across that roadmap that's up here that I can see. Another cool thing about the homepage is you can actually have your recents, but who has shared things with me? Okay, so I have a bunch of different projects here, and I also have ones that I've created as well. So just a little quick, easy filtering all in the new project homepage. So folks, that's really what I wanted to show you today. I want to get in here, show you a bit about Teams, show you a bit about the new project for the web capability for casual project managers. And I want to end up show you a couple other tools that you folks, resources that you folks might want. So flipping through a couple of these slides since we already went through it. But a lot of folks have been taking us up on this offer. Microsoft sponsors us to go off and do some free workshops for qualified customers out there. If you want to find out if you're qualified or not, send an email to info@ppmworks and see if you are. Tell us what you need. We do workshops on Project Online. We do workshops on the new tools that you have out there. We're actually doing one down in the Mid-Atlantic, actually two in the Mid-Atlantic, one tomorrow and one Wednesday, that we're showing folks portfolio management. We're showing them the art of the possible with the new project online things, as well as getting into some detail around a app for task management. So again, you sort of create your own workshop and we can deliver that. Now, before you folks get on to your day, it's been a real pleasure here. We're going to open it up for question and answers. You can go ahead and submit those through Zoom, Q&A tab there. And you also want to be able to, down here, go ahead and connect with us through LinkedIn. I'm going to go off and take a look at some of the questions that are coming in. I'm going to go ahead and pause this sharing here. All right. I see some folks writing in here. Here's a private question for me. Yes, so Teams is included. So the question is, Teams, is that a separate license? No, Teams is included in Microsoft Office 365, and that's what we were showing you, that house or that channel for everything within Microsoft Project, Planner, Power Apps, and more. Thank you, Haki. How do Project and Planner know the assignees for the resource via emails or Office 365? Sure, great question. So the question is, how are we getting notifications, right? Within Microsoft Project, you have something called notifications, and you can set those up. So it's really up to you how you want to get those. How we have seen things happen is within Teams. If you want to do that, you actually can get a notification through Teams. For those that know me, I'm a big advocate for lowering emails, okay? So I do advocate and espouse the Teams notification aspect. Great question. Another question about Office 365 accounts. Office 365 accounts, license, I don't know, let's see. Office 365 account, do you get? Yes, sorry. So Office 365 or M365 is the same. It's just different nomenclature Microsoft's using. They're changing over to Microsoft 365 because it's not just about Office now. But within that package, whichever you'd like to refer it to, you do get all the Office products. You need to pay extra for these three things. Project, Power BI if you want to share it with everybody, okay? And then also Dynamics if you want to get in there. So those are sort of the tools that you're paying extra for. So the project service, the project itself, the Power BI if you want to share across your enterprise, as well as Dynamics. Those are the paid. Yes, I mentioned that we're going to be doing some more webcasts. Absolutely. Let me pull up our webcast here that I have, the ones that we noted. We also have some more that are coming out this week. So here's that post for the webcast. We're going to be doing the paginated reports up here on the 31st and two more each in subsequent months here for the rest of the year. Next week, we're actually been asked by Microsoft to do a couple on the new project service called Project for the Web. So we'll actually be doing one on, or two, on November 1st as well as a few into November. So we will get you an updated schedule if you'd like to stay current. Everything you can see, again, either on our YouTube channel, or if you go up to our website and you just go into events. I'll pull that up now, ppmworks.com. We go over into our events area, right up here, resource, and we have our upcoming webinars here. You open that up, you're going to see everything that will be posted. So the November dates that I just talked to you about will be posted up here this week, as well as a bunch of other things. Well, my friends, we've made it through about 45 minutes here. I appreciate you being on the line. I will hold for a little bit more. If you have any questions, I will take those questions, but for the recording purposes, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording now. Make sure, if you folks have any questions, yep, I have one more. Yep, that email is info@ppmworks.com, and I'll bring that up one last time here. There you go, info@ppmworks.com. Have a great day, folks. Enjoy it. Bye now.